Welcome students. Today let us know something about patenting of Neem. When we talk about patenting, what comes into our mind is intellectual property rights. Now what is this intellectual property rights? It is a category of property that includes intangible creations of the human interest. There are many types of intellectual properties and some countries recognize more than others. The most well-known types are the copyrights, patents, trademarks, and trade secrets. Now, let us know what exactly is a patent. Patent is a government authority or a license which confers a right or a title for a set period, especially it is a sole right to exclude others from making, using, or selling an intervention. Now, to know what exactly is a patent or what can be patented, something which is having a novelty, which is having an innovativeness, and which is having a usefulness can be patented. So something which can be patented should be novel, that is it should be new, it should be innovative, and it should be useful to the economy. So like this, there was a patenting of Neem which happened a few years ago. Let us discuss about it. As you all know, Neem tree, the botanical name of which is Azadirachta indica, which belongs to the family Meliaceae, and it is a tropical evergreen tree which is native to India. It is also found in other Southeast countries. So this means that Neem is indigenous to India. And in India, Neem is known as a village pharmacy because of its healing versatility. It's been used in Ayurvedic medicine for more than 4,000 years because of its medicinal property. It has a huge medicinal properties. It is also called as Arishta in Sanskrit, which means Neem is perfect, complete, and imperishable. Whole tree has medicinal importance. The seeds, bark, and the leaves contain compounds which has proven antiseptic, antiviral, antipyretic, anti-inflammatory, anti-ulcer, and antifungal uses. Now we got to know that Neem is indigenous to India and Neem has a wide range of medicinal properties. Another topic which we need to know here is biopiracy. Now what is biopiracy? It is a theft of genetic material, especially plants and other biological materials by a patent process. What does this exactly mean? Somebody steals the information, especially of plants and of biological process, and they patent it. So why do we need to know here? Patenting of Neem, it is exactly a case of biopiracy which has happened. What happens here is corporations of Western world, since the past 2 decades or so, they have been reaping immense profits by patenting the knowledge and genetic resource of third world communities. Now this forms the biodiversity hotspots. So third world communities are biodiversity hotspots where they have enriched values or enriched medicinal plants and other things or other biological material. The Western worlds, they steal this information, a sort of biopiracy, and they try to patent this and make money out of this. I hope all of you are understanding this. So once patented, the patent owner can effectively prevent competitors from producing the product. So now if somebody else applies the patent for it and if they get the patent, so they can stop the other country who is indigenous from using it itself. Occasionally, they can even interfere with the lifestyles of the community, which is the original source of the patented information. So in such cases, who is under threat is mainly the farmers and the community livelihoods. So now we got to know what is biopiracy. Now what was the problem with Neem and how was it related to biopiracy? So for centuries, Western world, they ignored the Neem tree and its properties. So although it is indigenous to India and since 4,000 years ago, its medicinal properties were explored in India, but the Western countries, they ignored the Neem tree and its properties. And the practices of Indian patients and doctors were not deemed worthy of attention by majority of British, French and Portuguese colonists. But in 1971, suddenly they realized, and a US timber exporter, Robert Larsen, he observed the tree's usefulness in India. He got to know that Neem was very important and it is there in India. So he began importing the Neem seed to his company headquarters, which was at Wisconsin. Now, over the next decade, that is after that, after some 10 years, he conducted so many safety and performance tests upon a pesticidal neem extract called as Margosan O. So what he done was, he took out the neem extracts from the neem plant, and that was named as Margosan O, and he done a lot of clinical studies for its safety and its performance, that is its potential effect. And then in 1985, he received a clearance for this product, Margosan O, from US Environmental Protection Agency, that is Environmental Protection Agency's EPA. 3 years later, he got a patent for this, and he sold the patent for the product to the multinational chemical corporation W.R. Grace and Co. So they started applying for a lot of patents for neem-based products. And since 1985, over a dozen of US patents have been taken out by US and Japanese firms on a formulae for many stable neem-based solutions, emulsions, and even neem-based toothpaste. So all of you hear that neem is present in toothpaste. So this US people had applied for patent and they have already got it. In 1992, W.R. Grace and Co. they secured its rights to the formula that used the emulsion from the neem tree seeds to make a powerful pesticide. So it initiated with Margosan O, and later on in 1992, they also started making a powerful pesticide and they patented it. And one more worst thing what they started doing is they began suing Indian company for making the emulsion. So although the product was of India, they were not supposed to use. The US court started suing Indians for using neem and making its emulsion. Now looking into the dispute, where is this controversy? The main controversy is who has the rights to neem tree. Raised many questions, whether it is India because it was indigenous to India and they already knew the uses of medicinal plants, of the medicinal properties of neem especially, and or whether it has to be granted to US because they've already applied for so many patents. This was the dispute and the controversy. So India claims that what the US companies are calling discoveries are the actual stealing and pirating of indigenous practice and knowledge of its people. So Indian says that what US company has done is they have stolen and they have pirated the indigenous practices and the knowledge, especially in the case of neem. And Indians and members of the Green Party in Europe Union, so in Europe Union they formed the Green Party, and so these Indians along with the Green Party members, they started opposing big business owning the rights to living organisms because they believe that the rights of poor farmers in developing countries will be harmed. So if this happens, the Green Party along with the Indians, they felt that the farmers will be harmed. But whereas if we look at the other side, United States, they started telling that what they are doing will help the Indian economy. Another issue is, first thing is whether the neem is patentable or not. If you go back to the earlier discussion or the introduction, what we discussed, we said that something which can be patented should be innovative, it should be novel, and it should be useful. But since neem is a natural source, it's a product of nature, can this be patentable was a question. But here, W.R. Grace and Company, they said that they have not patented the neem tree, they have patented the process of making the emulsion. So two components comes here, the product patent and the process patent. So process patent is by taking the natural material, they have processed something, so they argue that that can be patented. So now with this Green Party and India, they started a Neem campaign. So this Neem campaign, it consisted of a group of NGOs and individuals. This was initiated in 1993 in India. And mainly this was done to mobilize worldwide support to protect indigenous knowledge, to protect our knowledge, what we had in our country, to protect this Neem campaign was started. And to protect not only the knowledge, but the resources also of the third world countries especially. From what they had to protect? Basically, they had to protect from piracy by the West. So we were just talking about biopiracy, where they are robbing our knowledges and resources. They are stealing our knowledge and resources and they are making use of it. So to prevent this, a campaign was started. And particularly in the light of emerging threats from intellectual property rights, regimes under WTO and TRIPS. What is WTO? It is World Trade Organization, and TRIPS is trade-related intellectual properties. Now the Neem patent, it became the first case to challenge European and US patents on the ground of biopiracy. So they said that it is a biopiracy where they have stolen the information of the third world country and they are trying to make use of it. So this this Neem campaign was to stop this. So this Neem campaign was started in 1993. So it was applied to the court and a case judgment was released on 30th September 1997. The European Patent Office, that is EPO, they delivered a favorable interim judgment of the challenge of a European patent on a fungicidal effects of neem oil. So this bear a patent number 436257B1 and this was owned by W.R. Grace & Co. So the European Patent Office, they accepted the arguments offered by the Indian scientists and rejected the order of US Patent Office to award the patent to W.R. Grace, which was a US-based company, at the last hearing of the case. So what does this mean? Indians, they also applied telling that the neem was used since many years and people of India knew the medicinal properties of neem. And the US company had applied for the patent of a neem-based oil, that is a neem oil, which had a fungicidal effect. Now here, the European Patent Office, they rejected the US plea and they heard the arguments of India, which meant that Indians had this neem from before itself. Neem is indigenous to India and its medicinal properties was used since many years. So Indian scientists argued that people of India knew the medicinal properties of neem for thousands of years and no other company can patent its property, and EPO accepted this argument. So the results which were out helped India win the patent, and this victory was a result of 4-year-long effort by the Research Foundation for Science, Technology and Environment. So Professor U.P. Singh, an agricultural scientist at Banaras Hindu University, he represented the Indian side. Europe Patent Office, they agreed to withdraw the patent in May 2000 and the patent was revoked, however. So here they also came to another conclusion that US also needs to know the change and they need to make the change in their patent law, which allows biopiracy by non-recognition of foreign prior art. So here what India needs to do, although we have a rich source of medicinal plants, rich source of knowledge and resources, what we need to be sure is it has to be documented. We need to preserve all this. So turmeric case is also one such thing which we will be discussing in the next class. So using the turmeric and neem case, India needs to challenge the World Trade Organization, WTO, ruling in the TRIPS dispute, trade-related intellectual properties dispute, which was initiated by the US. And the ruling states that India has failed to implement a mechanism for preserving novelty and priority. So whatever is indigenous to us, whatever we know, based on priority, we need to document it. However, when novelty itself is under a question, as in the case of turmeric or neem, and countless other cases of biopiracy, preserving novelty by introducing US-wide patent laws in India amounts to perpetuating biopiracy. So there are strong grounds for challenging the WTO decision, and India should not let this opportunity pass. So we should not fail anywhere. We need to preserve our knowledge and our resources. So to summarize, neem patent is one such thing where India was supposed to lose the neem to US and they started patenting several products of neem. So what we need to listen from this is, although we have a rich source of knowledge and resources, we need to document it on priority basis and we need to patent and start using it. We should not lose these things to other companies. I hope all of you have understood this session. Thank you. If you have any doubts, you can please